What's up, guys? I am here with Base Form Goku, just released as DLC. I'm going to do a little bit of a guide here, run through his different moves, some basic strategies, and some combos in case you want to take Goku online and give him a shot yourself. So, first of all, let's talk about his special moves. His first special move is this shoulder charge, quarter circle forward plus any attack button. He can do it on the ground or in the air. So this move, at first, it kind of seems like a, basic combo extension move. But it does have one pretty good use, which I think is if you're doing like a block string on the opponent. The medium version, you can see he does this little hop back. That can be pretty good to catch the opponent sticking out a button. So sometimes you can catch them mashing, hit them with that into a vanish, into whatever. And in the corner, you can use the EX version, and you actually get a free combo off it, which is kind of nice. You don't need to use vanish. The EX version can also be used as a combo extension in the corner. Stuff like this seems pretty good for that, but overall, I would say the primary use of this move is if you've got the opponent in a block string, you can make them guess by using the medium version to punish them for pressing buttons. But do note that all the versions are minus on block. They're not punishable, but they are minus, so if the opponent blocks it and you're both pressing buttons, the person who blocked the attack will be at advantage, unless you vanish or something to keep yourself at advantage. So his other special move we've got here is a command throw, quarter circle back plus attack. So the light version is quick, but the range is kind of short. Medium version, he actually goes pretty far. It seems pretty good. And then the heavy version, he goes super far, and you can actually combo off that without using vanish or anything like that. So with the light and medium versions, you are going to need to use vanish to get the combo. Or off the medium version, you can go straight into his Kaioken Super, which we're going to talk a little bit more about in a second. But so this move seems pretty good too. A similar principle to what I was talking about. If you're making the opponent guess, like, okay, am I going to bait you into pressing a button by using the shoulder charge, or am I going to go for the command throw? It seems pretty good, although he can't get very good damage off it. It scales the combo a lot, and really, like, I think straight into Kaioken is, like, your best combo option. It's not great, but it's not nothing, so I think that this is pretty good for, punishing the opponent if they just like to block forever. You can force them into a little combo with the command throw mix-up. Next, we'll talk about his ki specials. So, quarter circle forward plus ki. He's got a Kamehameha. Kind of strangely, this is actually only one hit. Unlike most Kamehamehas that are multiple hit moves, this is just one hit, so it's kind of harder to confirm off of. But you can get the vanish combo there. It's a little bit slow as well. I would say it's not as good as someone like Krillin or Super Saiyan Goku. But, it gets the job done, and you can, use it to kind of start combos from full screen or whatever. And one other key move he has access to is down plus ki blast. You can see he brings up these ki blasts from the ground, so if you press it once, it'll do 1. If you press it twice, it'll do 2. If you press it 3 times, it'll do 2, and then this little teleport kick. So you can also adjust the distance. If you do down forward plus ki, it'll be far. If you do down back, it'll be close. I haven't really found a use for this move other than some really specific combos. You can do stuff like this in the corner, but in terms of like using this move to actually control space or anything, it seems not great. It just doesn't seem to really hit when you need it to. But it's possible that there's some nice like vanish confirms or something that I don't know about. I haven't really found anything. But definitely it's a move with some potential, and it is nice. You can combo off it very effectively in the corner, or mid-screen. You can even just go straight into Kaioken, so that's something. But yeah, this move seems a little bit weird. He's also got this very interesting special move. If you do quarter circle back plus ki, you can see he charges up for a second, and if you do it again, he throws it at the opponent, this little spirit bomb attack. So that's pretty cool, and actually the longer you hold the charge, the more damage it does. So this is after 2 charges, it does a lot more damage, and then 3 charges, it does a ton of damage. And then actually if you land the level 3 version, You can even go into his level 3 super. Normally this super is very, very hard to combo into, but if you have the fully charged miniature Spirit Bomb, this does work. And look at the damage. That's just ridiculous. But obviously in a real match, it's really, really hard to charge this up to level 3. And a lot of times it's going to be scaled. Like, you can do combos like this, but you can see that this isn't going to do as much damage as it did raw. It'll probably do about like 60%, maybe a little more. Yeah, 65%. Still good damage, obviously, but a little bit tricky to set up. So it's worth noting that you cannot charge this up incrementally. If you're at level 1 charge, you can't take it to level 2 charge. You have to shoot it first, which is kind of a bummer. You can combo off this by super dashing, so that's pretty good, but you can't go into a super or anything afterwards. So this attack, I don't know. It's interesting because it does enable a lot of new combo options for him, but I'm just not sure like how reliable it's going to be to get these charges off in a match, especially level 3 charge. It just doesn't really seem doable. I mean, maybe you could get a situation where maybe you land a knockdown or something, and you can use that as an opportunity to charge, but like the opponent's going to hit you out of the level 3 charge a lot of times, which is not what you're looking for. So it's a little bit awkward, but it's also pretty interesting, and there might be setups where you can get them to block an assist and use that as a chance to set it up. I don't know. It's definitely a cool idea, and I would like to see if people are able to figure out some ways to make it a little bit more consistent. Because right now that's kind of something I'm struggling with, is how am I actually going to get level 3 charge? It just doesn't seem possible in most matches, but you never know. So that's it for his special moves. Next up, let's talk about his supers. I already talked about his level 3 a little bit. Obviously, it does insane damage, but it's very, very slow, so it's very difficult to combo into this. There are some easy ways to do it, like Kid Buu. His level 1 super sets you up pretty much perfectly. As you can see here, it should go straight into the Spirit Bomb. And I think there's a few characters that can do this. I haven't found them all, but I tested it with Zamasu with his Orb Super, and I wasn't quite able to make it happen. But it's possible it works. I was just doing it wrong. But so there's a few ways that you can set it up like that. Obviously, it's very, very damaging. But if you do use it as a combo ender, it'll be scaled a little bit. But the Spirit Bomb level 3 seems very strong to me. Seems like one of the primary motivations for using this character. But his level 1 super is also very interesting as well. It's the Kaioken. The way it works is you do it, and then depending on what buttons you press afterwards, you get sort of different inputs. And you get a different number of inputs depending on how many characters on your team are alive. So normally you only get 3 attacks here. 1, 2, 3. And then if you press light plus medium or R1, it'll do the little ender. So you can see I get 3 different attacks here. 1, 2, 3, and then I can do the ender. If you have one character dead, you can do 5 attacks. So let's count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the ender. And then if you press the light plus medium again, when you do the ender, you'll see he'll do this Kamehameha ender, which does more damage, but it does cost an extra meter. And if Goku is your only living character, then you get Kaioken times 20, which lets you do 7 attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, you can do the Kamehameha ender here as well. It does a lot of damage. So this is pretty useful just as like a combo ender. You can get pretty good damage here. It works mid-screen or in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into the ender. So 2 meters, and we're getting like 60% basically. So that's pretty good damage. Worth noting that if you want to do this mid-screen, you're going to want to start it off with the key button. So you can see he starts off with this fireball instead, and then you can just mash light. I guess I'll talk about what the different attacks do. So if you press light for Kaioken, he does this attack into like this spin thing. If you press medium, he actually goes to the other side and hits the opponent. If you press heavy, he actually does a throw, which is pretty cool. You can combo off it like that. And then if you press key, he does this fireball. And you can combo off that as well. So it seems good not only as a combo ender, but also I think potentially you can mix the opponent up. Like if you get him to block this, they're going to have to guess like, okay, is he going to cross me up? Is he going to do a throw? And then whenever any of them hit, you can use that to set up your combo ender. Like that. So it does seem pretty good for that purpose, especially if you're at Kaioken times 20. So I think that that's another kind of compelling reason to use this character. And it seems good. So overall, I think that Base Form Goku is a pretty cool character. I think I haven't explored him as much as I would like to, but so far his biggest weakness definitely seems to be comboing after Vanish. If you're in a situation like this, there's no way for him to go into Super. Like, you can see, because he doesn't have an air attack that puts the opponent into a hard knockdown, there's no way for him to go into Super. Someone like Super Saiyan Goku, he can do this just fine because he has this attack, which always does a hard knockdown, so then he can go into Super. But Base Form Goku, he just doesn't have any option like that, so if you land a Vanish, basically your best option is something like this, which is not a lot of damage, obviously. But it is better than nothing. And that also applies to, like, off of shoulder charge. He just can't get very much damage. Because of his lack of air supers and his lack of ability to do a hard knockdown without getting a launcher first. So, it does make him a little bit awkward. But when you do get that clean hit, he can do just a ton of damage using Kaioken. Or, if you manage to get the level 3 Spirit Bomb charge, then all of a sudden this can become a threat because you can go into level 3. But again, like I said, it's very hard to get that Spirit Bomb charge a lot of times. So I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to happen in a real match, but it's worth a shot. So, you know, overall, I think his pressure is pretty good. He does have some good mix-ups because of his access to command throw. It's just questionable if he's going to be held back by his limited combo ability when you don't land a launcher or when you don't have the level 3 Spirit Bomb charge. But I think he's a really fun character. I'm going to be playing him a lot on stream, so I hope you guys enjoy the character as well. Tomorrow we're going to be doing one of these for Base Form Vegeta, who I think is also really cool, really fun to play, and a very powerful character it seems so far. So make sure you guys check that video out when it goes up. And you can also click the links here on screen to go to more of my videos or to become a subscriber or to help support the channel via Patreon. So thanks for watching, guys. It's much appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.